Hey guys, it's me, AvaConda, and today I'm going to be doing what I hope to be a series, not really a series, but like a recurring thing is coffee and a chit-chat about a specific topic. Today the topic is going to be my tattoos. For some reason my video seems very red right now, but I have 8 tattoos, and I will be drinking water in between so I don't stain my teeth. Fun tip, you can also use a straw. Okay, so I have 8 tattoos. I got my first one when I was 17. It was a Christmas present from my dad. My dad is fully covered in tattoos. Well, not like fully, but he's got tattoos on most of his body. And I got one when I was 17. I'll insert some photos in between here of the ones that I can't like show. Like this one's on my side, like my hip kind of. And it is a heart with some clouds and some music notes, and it was really cute when I got it. But it has stretched and morphed in the last 9 years. So if I could get it touched up, I would, but it's kind of expanded because I've gotten bigger and smaller as time has gone on, and it's stretched, and the ink wasn't laid in there the best, so that's kind of part of it. Like I said, I'll insert photos randomly, but my second tattoo was done by the same person who did the first tattoo, and I can probably show you that one. That one is on my back here. You can only see part of it. And it is the outline of a turtle, and it is finished. I can't tell you how many times I get people like, are you ever gonna finish that one? Yeah, I dipped out halfway through a turtle tattoo. Like, no. It is the way it's meant to be. It has a sentimental reason to it. I may end up filling it in at some point with not like a turtle, but like a pattern that has something to do with the meaning. It's for my cousin that passed away quite a few years ago, 8 years ago yesterday actually. And he was very young, and there is a connection between the turtle and me and the whole thing, so that's why I have that. And the next one I got was these birds on my collarbone here. They were done by the same guy who did the other 2. If I could change anything about these, I would probably add another like 2 birds right here, just because people typically only see this one and they're like, what the hell is that? I had someone ask me once if it was a whale. So I would probably add maybe just a couple more to make it more obvious that it is a set of birds instead of like potentially whatever. That one was touched up just because it's such a solid concentration of black. Some of it kind of didn't stick right away, but that one is held up pretty well, and it kind of like pokes out of shirts and stuff over here sometimes too. That's one of my more visible ones because no matter what I'm wearing, it usually sticks out a little bit. Then I got next one is fun. Let me take off my things here. I got strength written on my wrist. These look like they're not even, but they are. Just the way when you turn your arm, it like doesn't, they're even, I promise. When I hold my arm like straight down, you can see it. But initially when he was putting it on me, I was talking to my friends and I wasn't really paying attention, and it was spelled wrong. I know how to spell strength. He didn't, and it was on me for not paying attention, and I didn't pay attention and had to get it touched up, and because of that, it like sits really far on the inside of my wrist, so like even here, like you can see it, whereas it should be more centered. Also, the font is a little weird. This looks like a P. It's so hard to show you because it's, there we go. This looks like a P instead of an S, but as you can see, it's like it doesn't sit flat on my wrist here because he started from the end of the word. He wrote HTN and didn't realize there was a G. If I was going to cover any tattoo, it would be that one. I don't feel the need to cover it up right now, though. Maybe later on down the line I'll put something over it, but it's pretty thick because it did have to be touched up. So it might be really difficult to cover that. I might just leave it. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's currently spelled correctly. So I am that cliche of make sure your tattoo is spelled correctly. Then my next tattoo was my ribs. I have Let Her Cry written on my ribs. As the Hootie and the Blowfish song, Let Her Cry. I don't know too many people that have Hootie and the Blowfish lyrics tattooed on them, but I do. Like I said, those two I'll insert photos of because I can't show them. They're like all the way down here. It was about 5 years in between that one and the next one I got. And that one was actually done by a really, really good artist, my dad's tattoo artist, and I wish I could go to him for every tattoo ever. I actually had an appointment set up for him to finish the top of this arm for me, but it never came to fruition. When I had the money, I didn't have the time, and then when I had the time, I didn't have the money. It was just, it never actually came to be. Sorry, my nose ring is like spinning. But I wanted a tattoo, and I decided I wanted one like right now. So that's never a good move. Don't ever do that. Learn from my mistakes, please. So I got this, and as you can see, there's like a fallout here, and some of the lines are just really crummy, and the color isn't there. Like the bones are good. If I got it touched up, like just redone by someone else, it would be fine. But some of the lines are very like broken, not really done very well. I wanted to go to get a tattoo right that day, so Alex brought me to an artist that had done a few pieces for him, and he was busy, but this kid who worked for him, who would have been tattooing for about 3 years, like, I'm free, so I let him draw it up and put it on me. It's also not super centered on my arm. Like, as you can see, there's like much more skin in the back than the front. So that'll be touched up, but the other artist that I wanted to go to is going to put like a Buddha down here and like some smoke kind of coming around the flower a little bit and kind of encompassing it, and he was going to redo the flower. So eventually I will get the lotus flower redone. I want this, at least the top of my arm, to be kind of spiritual and zen in a manner. I do want full sleeves at some point. I wanted one arm to be like my Disney/cartoon arm. So that will be this arm. I want like an Ariel tattoo. I want a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade, but I'm not sure which one yet. So after I got this wonderful masterpiece here, I went to a tattoo convention with Alex, my first tattoo convention ever, and I was always very against like going and picking flash off the wall. Like, not that I had anything against it, but I wanted something unique on me. I didn't want like something that everyone else had on their body. Like, I wanted to go in there. In my mind, I didn't ever want something on my body that I didn't choose, like think of. Ridiculous. But I went to a tattoo convention. I was like, I don't want to like pick someone's stencil, just put it on me. And but I was kind of open-minded to it, and I found this one that I really, really liked, and to this day it is my favorite tattoo. I got it, I would say, about 1.5 years ago now, and it is on the back of my arm, and I will attempt to show this to you, but I have to stand up a little bit. So it is a skull, and it is really, really pretty and really well done. Like, the orange sun behind it is really gorgeous. It's a beautiful piece. Like, every tattoo has its imperfections because they are man-made. I really can't find many imperfections in that one. It's gorgeous. I love it. It was not part of my motif, not part of my arm theme. But but I really, really wanted it. I know I'm gonna like have all these plans and then end up just like putting pieces everywhere and then having to connect them later. Like I just know, because I'm not like down for just like tossing a couple grand at something and just doing it right away. I mean, maybe if I had a couple grand to just throw at a tattoo, like I would do it, but I end up having like a few $100s here and there that I want to spend on it, and I get bits and pieces. So the last but not least is my newest one, and that is my Drink Me tattoo. Oh, this is gonna be fun. It is my Drink Me tattoo. See, you can see they're even with my arm from this angle. But this is an Alice in Wonderland tattoo. It is not a Fortnite tattoo, as much as it does look like Fortnite. It is not. And it was just really cute. I've always kind of wanted like a Drink Me, Eat Me tattoo. I might get an Eat Me later on. I might not. And the guy who did it, I was like, can you put some pink in there? And he was like, oh, I put some like 90s Saved by the Bell lightning bolts in there. And it was just so funny. I can't even show you the rest of it. But it was really, really cute. And it was pretty cheap. And it was such a hard thing to swallow. Because I was like, you know, like my father being, you know, pretty covered in tattoos. He was a man. Well, is a man. And he worked, he was an electrician. So like he didn't wear a suit and tie all the time. And even if he did, he could cover his tattoos. Like they all like stop at his wrists, and there's like nothing on his neck, like his neck, singular, or anything. Like he can cover his tattoos. So he always told me, he was like, as a woman, you have a little bit of a different stigma. And that is very true. It's getting less and less as time goes on, I'm noticing. But still, like I have the stigma in my head. Like if I have like tattoos that are hard to cover, it's gonna be more difficult for me to get jobs and everything in the future. And the ones on the backs of my arms are like, well, yeah, they're not great, but they can be covered by long sleeves, no problem, you know, or 3/4 sleeves or a long t-shirt or something. But I realized that the skull, when I wore my scrubs, only came to about here. So I worked with kids. I was a pediatric dental assistant. So I was like, I don't think the kids will care, but the parents might. So I always wore an undershirt with my scrubs. And in my head, I was like, if I'm dooming myself to wearing long sleeves anyway, like I might as well start on my arms. Like I already had the wrist tattoo, but I can cover that with a bracelet or something. Like not that big of a deal. But this like was a hard pill for me to swallow. Even after I did it, I was like, what did I do? But it's been a few months now and I love it. It's a great tattoo. I just like have that stigma in my head. Now, as far as pain goes, ranking in severity, I would say the back of my arm was the worst. This one was the worst. It really sucked while he was doing it. Also, he had a pretty heavy hand. It also really swells from time to time. Like anyone who has tattoos will know, like sometimes the lines will raise, depending on the day or whatever. But it does so more often when the tattoo artist had a little bit of a heavy hand or put a lot of ink in. So that one really hurt and the healing was really crappy. Took forever to heal. It felt like weeks and weeks to just feel okay. And just where it was, like it was bumping on everything, like my shirt. There was no way to put a shirt on without scraping. It was not fun. Part of it was probably because I had done arm day like severely for the first time in a while, like the day before. Because I didn't plan out that I was going to get a tattoo or where I was going to get it, so I did not plan ahead. I would say the next worst one to get done was that turtle on my back. As small as it is, it didn't take much time. If you ever had like a pimple on your back, we've all been there. Let's not play games. and you've ever like pinched it or squeezed it and like just tears come to your eyes. That's what it felt like the entire time. So it was not fun. I was not a happy camper, but it was over pretty quick. And my healing process for that was nothing. Like, I don't even remember the healing process, which is a good thing. I would say the next crappiest one was my ribs. My ribs sucked. But again, it was fairly quick. So in the grand scheme of things, 40 minutes is not really a big deal. Might not even have been 40 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. The healing for that wasn't great just because of where it was, but it didn't really hurt. I just had to wear like a sports bra for like a week. Just to not rub on it. I would say the next crappiest one. I'm going from crappiest to get done. And then I'll do worst healing. So the worst, like I said, was back of my arm, then my back, then my ribs. Then I would say maybe my hip. That one's hard to tell because it was so long ago that I really don't remember. And it was my first one, so any gauge that I have was just different. Then I would say maybe my arm, like my wrist, because that just feels like it's so thin that it feels like you're like slicing your wrist open. Like it's just such an awkward feeling. And then as it heals, like when you bend it, oh, gross. I don't get grossed out by things like that, but it was very awkward. And then I would say maybe my collarbone, which really wasn't that bad from all the things I've heard about collarbones being so bad to get tattooed. I didn't really feel it, and a lot of it was actually on my collarbone. Like, I'm a little chubby right now, so my collarbone is right here. So, it wasn't really too close to the collarbone, like it wasn't on it, but that was pretty painless. I got to lay down too, which is awesome, because anyone who gets tattoos knows, like, sometimes you are contorted in the worst possible way for a long period of time. Then I would say maybe this one, and then this one, like, was nothing, which is great because it took about 3.5, 4 hours to do this. He was very, like, lightheaded. He kept asking me if I was okay. I think he didn't push the ink in as much as he could have. Like, I think he was just being very lightheaded. Which at that point I'd already had, 6 tattoos? That's my 7th? No, that was my 6th. So, I was, like, visibly fine. I wasn't complaining, like, just do it, man. Like, I will not complain. I will not ask them to stop. I've never, like, almost passed out or anything. For me, like, I don't want to complain. I just want you to do it and get it done. It's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't love the feeling. Like, do it, get it done, let's get out of here. As far as healing, back of my arm was pretty bad. It took forever. It was so swollen. And just where it was, like, after a while you start to know where your tattoos are. Like, I can trace my turtle without even, like, looking at it, just because I know where it is at this point. Like, I know where they're sitting. Like, I know where my rib tattoo is. But in the beginning you don't. And it was so swollen that to, like, pull it up like this really hurt to apply the ointment. So Alex had to apply it for me as often as he could, and we both have very different opinions on how to apply ointment for tattoos. So I'm very liberal with it. He's very stingy, and because he's very stingy, like pulls the skin, and I almost punched him. It's like, it hurts. Stop it. He has 20 some odd just on his arms, all Navy related. Mostly Navy related, I guess. But that was the worst healing. I would say the second worst healing was this one, my newest one. Because it just would not stop. There was one spot right here that, like, wouldn't stop oozing and it stung. And it was time for me to switch over to lotion from ointment, and the ointment was pulling out a lot of the color, and just really, like, it was time. And I would try to put on lotion and it would burn for like 20 minutes. Like, it was just still such an open wound, and it was kind of oozing, which tattoos will ooze. They will ooze sometimes not nice colors, but this one was oozing not nice colors for about 2 weeks. And it was just, I knew it wasn't infected, but it sucked. So, next worst healing. I would say my wrist. Just because, like I said, the bending would peel the scab, and it was like just an awkward feeling. After that, I would say my first tattoo, because of size, and I was still in high school at the time, and I had a bunch of people smacking it and trying to touch it and mess with it, so that hurt. Then I would say maybe my collarbone, just for the inconvenience, like everything was rubbing on it. Then maybe my ribs, and then my arm. Like, this arm didn't hurt to get it done. It didn't hurt to heal. It was also the easiest one I've ever had to apply lotion to. It was my right hand, and it was just so easy. But that's pretty much my tattoo story. I'm gonna do a video at some point about like things they don't tell you about tattoos, like how to take care of them, how not to take care of them. Like, people, I actually have a really, really, really old video like this, but I know some people that believe, like, if they go in the water, the ocean, right after they get a tattoo, like minutes after, that their tattoo will magically come off. Like, once your tattoo's on you, there's nothing you can do to get it off. You can mess it up, you can burn it, scratch it, scrape it, like, screw it up, but like, it's there. It's going to be there for life. If you get laser surgery, it's never going to look perfect. Like, that tattoo is there. So I will do a video on like myths and things they don't tell you, like about the healing and all that kind of stuff. How to check for pain levels, like how you know a tattoo is going to hurt. That kind of thing, how long they typically take. So I'll do kind of a fact video like that at some point, but I just wanted to kind of do like a ramble video and maybe make this, like I said, a kind of routine thing where I just kind of drink coffee and casually talk to you guys. So I really love these casual videos. They are just, in my opinion, you guys can see more of my personality, and I can kind of get some things across to you that I can't in a trigger video, or especially a role play. But before I go, I owe my patron Amber 2 more shout outs. One right now and another at the end of the month. So Amber, thank you so much for being an amazing patron. Amber has given me some ideas for some videos. I have a video lottery on my Patreon as part of some of my tiers, where you can submit some ideas throughout the month, and I will put them in a randomizer and choose the videos that I will be doing. Amber gave me some great ideas, so I think I'm going to do them both. And thank you so much, Amber. I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being patient with these shout outs, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.